Hello, loves, and welcome to the Introverts Toolbox, the podcast for introverts who feel like the world's kind of fucked up, where the biggest and craziest people get all the success, and we're left wondering, like, oh my god, what the hell do we do? My name's Karen Hewitt, and I am your host, and we're going to go over systems, methods, and skills you can use as an introvert to be authentically you and be successful. So, subscribe and share this on your social media, and don't forget to give us 5 stars, and let's get started.
Hello, my loves. You know, the one thing that's always driven me crazy as an introvert, we're always told to do more different ways and be more in the moment and be more on the fly. You know what one of our skills is? Prepared and organized. And sometimes maybe we just need a little bit more help getting organized and things like this, because there's always ways to do it more efficiently, something that can actually help us improve our life and our business. Now, the lady that I have on today, her name's Jane, and her love for organizing began on a small farm, like literally a farm girl. She found herself lining up cats by size, stuffed animals by color, even her parents' book by publication dates. So people started to go to Jane to help organize some of the sentimental items. But it didn't stop there. I mean, we could only use help getting rid of some things and sorting things and organizing things around us. But then we start to look into how can we organize our life, our business, how can we declutter, how can we take something and apply it into our lifestyle. Now, I have Jane with me. Jane is a multi-time author. She speaks on stages, she hosts business retreats. If anyone knows how to be organized, it's Jane. So, hi Jane, how are you today?
Hello, thanks for having me.
I'm so glad to have you here. I know introverts, one of our things is we tend to be a little bit more organized than some of our extroverted counterparts, because extroverts like to be in the moment, on the fly. But even though we have this tendency to be organized, things can still kind of get a little overwhelming for us, especially when there's a lot of noise or a lot of activity going in. It's one of the first places we disappear from. How did your love of organizing in a small farm just turn into this whole business venture where you've taken it from small to the scale it's at now?
Yes, that's a great question. And, you know, I think whether you're introvert or extrovert, you can be organized. And we choose to be disorganized. And when I started when I was 6 years old on the farm, I organized pet cats, my books. It was natural. It would have been whatever I was surrounded by, I would have organized. And that's a natural thing. I've done a lot of research too that says between the ages of 6 and 8 is when kids start to develop these organizing tendencies, and also a great time to shape those and help them become more organized. So I think that my passion is to help people and businesses get more organized. It took me a long time to make this in my business because I was too scared to make it a business. I worked in corporate for a long time, but 5 years ago, I officially launched Organized Jane, and it evolved since then. But really it is to help anybody get more organized. And I like your comment about introverts perhaps being a little bit more organized. Because as an extrovert myself, I often sometimes get frazzled too. And that's why I really have to have systems in place. And even I've taken a lot of training courses on, you know, listening skills, and introverts you have a better ability to, there's so many great things that you have too. So I actually try sometimes to mimic what introverts do. And the same with organizing. They're usually more conscious of things and not so caught up in the moment.
Honestly, I think it's amazing how an extrovert can just like go, okay, we're going to do this and run into it. I mean, it's just, I think extroverts and introverts both have skills and both have skill sets.
Yeah.
And it's where we can lean into what we have. Now, you talked about you organized everything, even the cat. I have no idea how you got your cats to be organized, because they have their own. But when we're talking about getting organized for business, a lot of people, well, I know, especially with the pandemic that's just occurred, a lot of businesses were started more out of necessity than planning and thought process. It was like, okay, no, got to do something, got to run into it. And just in networking and talking with a lot of small business owners, they're finding that they weren't as organized going into it as they would have liked to have been. Because it was like, okay, got to try something, got to do something new. And I'm always telling them it's not too late to get systems in place. When someone's frazzled, especially an introvert gets very frazzled with all the people side, the admin side, all these different things coming together. How do you normally start that? Okay, you're in a disorganized business mess. Let's flip it upside down and get started.
So I actually like, especially when times are tough and you have to just do things, that's maybe more comes more naturally to some people or extroverts, whatnot. But that's a great time to that's what you need to do when you start a business. See what sticks, sell things. I don't want you to worry about systems right away in your business, because first you need to actually have something to sell or a proven process product. There's no point in organizing a business if you haven't had sales yet and started selling. And for introverts, and even myself as an extrovert, I was still scared to sell my course and my products. It's a scary thing, but I had to do that first. And that's the most important thing out of any business, is get sales. Once you have those sales and customers and a proven product process, then you really need to, you're probably already overwhelmed, but now is the time to really organize those systems. So it's a great time. Of course, I'd love to say in the beginning, organize this and do that, but first just get sales, get your message out there, and then come to myself or another expert or start organizing your business yourself.
Yeah, I like how you put the sales first, because I think a lot of people get so caught up in trying to make everything perfect.
Exactly.
Before they start something, that it never actually starts.
Oh, 100%. And that's the fear. I'm not a perfectionist like that. And maybe that's what I do like about being, I just try things and I'm not worried about it. And I just put it out there. And it's sometimes there's even spelling mistakes or whatnot. And that might seem crazy, but at least it's out there. I'm getting the word out there, and then I can refine as I go. So I don't think things have to be perfect. You just need to get it out there if it's something you want to help people with, or a good product.
Okay, so they've got a business, they've got something going on, and they're starting to make sales and things are moving in the right direction. Where is the first area that you recommend that business owners decide to get organized? Where would you have someone start?
So I have a 6-step process, and the first step is actually time management. And I want to know where you're spending your time. We do a task audit, because oftentimes, especially solo entrepreneurs in the beginning, we're doing so many things. And are they really relating to the revenue generating activities? I want to find out and remove those. And I can't know what to remove until we find out what you're actually doing. And then it's time to look at automating, outsourcing, putting systems in place, hiring if you need. But first, where is your current time being spent, and is it being spent properly?
I would agree with that, because a lot of business owners think they're using their time effectively, but there's disappearing chunks.
Yeah.
Especially with social media now, we get stuck in the scroll hole.
And I love social media, and I think used properly, it's amazing. We should still be scrolling for inspiration, but there is, of course, you need to be mindful. As with anything else, Netflix, whatever you do, you need to be mindful of that time.
Absolutely. So you basically, you audit how the time's spent. You look at what they're doing on a day-to-day basis, how many hours, how many minutes they're spending in different things. And once you've got this information, how can they take this to become more effective?
So then on my audit, I get them to start to put it into categories too. They're good at it, not good at it, kind of good at it. There's 4 categories. And that's where I really want to take those things they're not so good at, don't like doing off their plate. And a lot of them, they're going to put future owners or software they use, or future software. So that's when it actually happens themselves. It's their own aha moment. But that's when we start taking, okay, these are some processes we're going to start documenting, because you're either going to hire them or we're going to create a system for it. And we start then creating a process document, which is step 2 in my course, on getting those processes down on paper. They become part of your business plan. And really, you're starting to evolve into the CEO of your business, not just doing everything.
I love that. They evolve into a CEO of your business rather than the solo entrepreneur, because we're not just thinking like you've got a little tiny business there. You have a business that's capable of many things.
Yes.
As well as, I love how you said, not just the things you're not good at, but the things that you don't like doing. Exactly. Because I know as an introvert, if I don't like doing it, it's more draining on my energy, and it takes me twice as long because it drains the energy.
And maybe there's somebody that's good at it or something, right?
Yeah, hire it out, get someone else, or get a system in place like you're saying.
Yep.
So we looked at the time, we looked at where we're going. We're now getting processes on paper, and this is step 2. And then you go into step 3. What's your step 3?
My favorite, even though I don't do math in public, I was never good at math in school, but numbers. So as a business owner, we need to know our numbers. I don't care if you say I can't add, I'm not good at accounting, I'm not good at it. You need to know your numbers, and it's not hard. It's just getting the system in place. So having a weekly accounting date with my clients, I also teach them how to digitize receipts, use a simple software to start to keep track. This is the beginning stages before you even think about hiring a bookkeeper. And a lot of people just outsource to a bookkeeper, but still don't look at their numbers. So we really go through the importance of organizing those numbers. That includes a few key metrics as well, but numbers are super important to any business.
Yeah, because if you don't have the numbers, you're not really in business. It's a hobby that you're either getting paid for or not.
Exactly.
So what's 4? I have to know.
Pardon?
What's step 4?
Oh,
I have to know.
step 4 is actually people, human resources. So we've been through this whole process now of documenting the processes. We have our numbers, and now I want you to develop that organizational chart for now. And I get them to do for future as well as they grow their company. So it's amazing how we don't write that down on paper to kind of see the bird's eye view of our organization.
Okay, so we have what we're good at, what we're not good at, where we're spending our time. We have processes, we have the numbers, we know what's going on. Now we're bringing in the people. What comes after that? Okay,
so the second last step is the most, I guess, exciting part, but it's marketing. And, I'm not a marketing expert, but I do give how to have a simple sales funnel, testimonials, all the feedback forms, the basics of any business marketing on how to kind of organize that I have in my course.
Okay, perfect. And then finally, you said that was the second to last step. And
yes, the final step. Sustainability. So keeping that going. So every quarter, I recommend reviewing this business plan. I have a checklist. It's an organized business checklist that you go over once a quarter, and just keeping this system alive. Because once you get in the momentum of being organized and have that mindset, you'll likely want to do it on a more often basis.
Perfect. You see, what you've just done is given us a business 101 class.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people, we jump into business, we don't plan it out, we don't think it through. It's just, okay, we need another solution. And a couple of you, they ask, is it too late? Like you said, you have to have some sales, you have to have something under your feet to really know if this is going to work. Why spend hours doing it if you have no clue if it's going to play out or not? So this is a great system in order to get yourself established in business, find out what works, what doesn't work, find out where you need to put energy and where you need to put someone else's energy into your business, find out the numbers, and then obviously eventually you're looking to make it a sustainable business where you could walk away for a couple of weeks and go on vacation.
Exactly. I'm so glad you said that. That's the reason I want you to take time for yourself, or eventually sell your business, whatever your goal is, but take time off and have your business still run.
Yeah, so that's the whole idea about this. And the thing is an introvert, you're going to have the skill set to see some of this from the outside, because we do tend to look at the details, whereas an extrovert tends to look at the external factors, the marketing, the being out in front of people, the showcasing it. And both are needed for a business to be successful. We have to have the behind the scenes and the front of house.
Yeah.
And what you've just described is the exact setup for behind the house, the back of the house, in order to make sure it runs perfectly. Now, a lot of people know I know this is a myth, because I constantly try and debunk this myth, say that introverts can't be entrepreneurs because they don't get to be out there at all.
Oh, I think they're almost better entrepreneurs.
Because we do get this back of the house and the front of the house. You can always hire someone to do that if you really don't want to do it. I mean, it's easy to hire someone in sales. There's so many out there. But when it comes down to organizing this, and you do both business and life, and I think one of the biggest challenges that people have is the separation of business and life. And we touched on it with the whole being able to take vacation, having time for ourselves. What is the key thing that you would tell someone in order to separate their life and business so they still have that balance?
Well, I think we don't separate it. You have it organized the same kind of way. Like your life, I say even your closet in the morning should be organized and streamlined and be prepared for your business. And the closet systems you use, the efficiency rules there you can use in your business. So I think just being, you don't want to come home to a disorganized house and you spend time wasting time there. You don't want to do vice versa at the office. So I think they really go hand in hand. And then when those both are organized, to your lifestyle, they don't have to be picture perfect, but organized to your efficiency system, then you can start to see the benefits of it and have more time to do things that you want to do in business and life.
Oh gosh, I love this. I love that you've given these 6 different steps in order to get everything organized in business. And the fact that we can take those steps and then turn them around and use them on our life as well. Like, see where you're spending your time. Go ahead, look at that. Look at what you do like, don't like. Can you hire someone? If you hate laundry, go ahead, hire someone else to do your laundry. Why waste your time? Do the same things that you use in business as you do in life.
Exactly.
Now, if someone wanted to find you, Jane, and get more in details and go into this course and understand how to do the funnel or how to do all these things, where would they find you?
So my website is organizedjane.com. And I'm most active on Instagram at Organized Jane. I'd love for your listeners to reach out. I have so many resources on anything from decluttering your closet to the business, my 6-step business process. So if they reach out to me, I'll gladly send them a resource, or I also offer a 30-minute free consult call. And I'd love to chat with anybody who's interested.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Any last minute advice that you're going to give that we can take and implement in our life right now to make sure we're more organized?
Right now, 10 minutes a day, I suggest putting a little calendar invite in your calendar for this week at 10 minutes, the beginning or the end of your day, maybe the 5 o'clock workday, and just call it an organize or declutter session on your computer, because we are so digitally cluttered these days, from our photos to our files. So just get in the habit of doing that. Clean your desktop, clean your inbox, clean your just 10 minutes every day, and start that habit. That is something tangible introverts and extroverts can do right away.
I absolutely agree, because I have to put my email on my calendar. Otherwise, I let it. 3 months ago, I had 10,000 emails in my inbox because I was avoiding it.
Oh,
no vulnerability there. Now I have email time on my calendar every day, and it doesn't go over the 3 figures.
exactly. I love it.
So it's even better. So that is a great tip. Well, listeners, what I want you to do is in the comments, whether you're on the podcast or on social media, what one step, what one item made you go, oh, I need to do that. I need to take that and put that into my life. Let us know in the comments, because the more we know that you're learning, the more information we can get for you and the more tools we can give you for your toolbox. Jane, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Appreciate you a great deal. All right. Thank you. And ta-ra for now, listeners.
Hello, loves, and welcome to the Introverts Toolbox, the podcast for introverts who feel like the world's kind of fucked up, where the biggest and craziest people get all the success, and we're left wondering like, oh my God, what the hell do we do? My name's Karen Hewitt, and I am your host.